The cost is probably one of the main questions you have when it comes to deck staining. At Brush and Roll Painting, we like to be fully transparent so you know exactly what the pricing is going to be when we come out to give you a quote. So in this video, I'm going to go over all the factors that go into the cost for restaining a deck so that you will be more comfortable when it comes to hiring a painting contractor. One of the main factors of the cost for restaining a deck is the prep work. A lot of guys will just wash them and then they come and they just spray them real quick. And so they're done in about a half a day. When we do a deck, it's typically we wash it one day. It takes us 3-4 hours to wash it. And then we'll come back the next day and there's at least a good full day to maybe even 2 days of just sanding. And then we hand brush it, and that's gonna be a whole nother day to a day and a half, 2 days to brush the deck. Another factor is what type of chemicals do we need to use? There's all sorts, if there's mildew on the deck, we have to use a mildew rinse. If the deck is really grayed out, we're gonna use a product that's a brightener. So there's several different chemicals and stuff that we need to put onto the deck just to bring it back to its original luster before we start our staining process. And that can increase the cost of staining a deck as well. Another big factor is we hand brush everything. We really wanna work it into all the crevices of the wood. We don't wanna spray it. It's important that we work it in to the cedar, work it into all the sideboards where the decking is. So that will be a big difference in some of the quotes that you're gonna get as well. So with a cedar deck, sanding is so important because the sun beats down on that top layer of cedar. And so if you really were to look at it or you were to put it under a microscope, you would see a bunch of cedar fibers. And it's really important that we get all those cedar fibers knocked down to where the deck will, when we stain it, it'll really penetrate the surface. So if we do the sanding before and we hand brush, we're gonna get at least another year to maybe even 2 years more out of that deck between the difference of me just spraying the deck. How big is the deck? The bigger the deck, the more it's gonna cost. If the deck is on ground level, it's going to be less expensive, but if we had to go up a bunch of stairs and we had to work off of ladders, that also increases the price. Landscaping around the deck, if you have a bunch of flowers, bushes, things like that, it's going to be a lot harder for us to do what we need to do, and so that'll also increase the price. Another big factor is if you have built-in benches, pergola over the top, things like that will also increase the price. What makes the cost go down? If the railings are iron, wrought iron, so we don't have to finish them. And then if we can go a solid color deck stain, there'll be a little bit of a cost reduction with that. The cost of refinishing a small deck, 10 by 12, is $1,600 to $2,400. A medium deck, 15 by 18, is $2,400 to $3,600. A large deck, 20 by 25, is $3,600 and up. Now that you know all the factors that go into the cost of deck staining, now you can get quotes and you'll feel more comfortable comparing from the different companies that you get quotes from.